Exactly 5 o'clock. Hello. Uh, Hi, I'm Christine Schiavone. Our show is Spiritual Exploration. I am here with Deborah Rose, that everybody waits for her all year long. And she's going to do the predictions for 2023. Now, because she has so much information, we're going to do it in two parts. And so we're going to start with Aries, which is the first sign, and end with
Pisces.
Pisces. No, well, Pisces would be the last sign, but
Last
that will be
sign.
in part two.
That's part two.
Right.
So where we land, I don't know. I'm going to try to give everybody the information. At least this year we have time.
Right.
So wherever we land,
Well,
we
I
land.
put down on the little thing that's going to come up on the screen the first six.
Okay, so that would probably be around Cancer.
It probably no, a little. I think just past Cancer, right after Cancer.
Virgo, no, Cancer.
Yeah, the last
Leo.
Leo would be the last one. Then we
Right.
would start with Virgo in part 2. So if we do have any time left over after you've done the first six, it's ending with Leo. Maybe you could talk about the country or whatever. You're going to go into the retrogrades and the
Sure. Retrogrades, eclipses, all the phenomenon that it's going to bring change into your life.
Right, right. Okay, so all right. So what would you like to start with the?
Well, let me start with the phenomenon in 2023 because we're ending 2022 with some pretty interesting retrogrades. And Mars doesn't go retro often, but it's retrograde now until January 12th, 2023. We've got some powerful eclipses. We begin the year with a Mercury retrograde.
Oh, really? Wow, just what we need.
So let me start with that. Everybody asks me and says, make sure you give me the date so I can write it down. So here you go for everybody who's got your pen and pencils ready. December 29th, 2022 through January 18th, Mercury is retrograde in Capricorn. It goes from 24 degrees Capricorn to 8 degrees Capricorn. Your watchers are getting very sophisticated, Christine, with their astrology now. So they want specifics. So there you go.
So that's why we're splitting it into two, so
There you
you can
go.
give out more information.
Yeah. April 21st through May 14th, Mercury is retrograde in Taurus. That would be 15 degrees Taurus through 5 degrees Taurus. August 23rd, 2023 through September 15th, 2023, it's retrograde, Mercury retrograde in Virgo. 21 degrees Virgo through 8 degrees Virgo. December 13th, 2023 through January 1st, 2024, Mercury retrograde from 8 degrees Capricorn through 22 degrees Sag.
So we're starting the next 2 years with a Mercury retrograde.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah. So remember, retrogrades. It rules computers, it rules electronics, it rules large ticket items that are mechanical, over $500. Do not buy during those times. Schedules get messed up, travel gets messed up, agreements, contracts, cars, cameras. Don't buy the lemon, don't buy that car, that's a lemon, that's a Mercury retro card. So be careful, be aware. A lot of you are sort of getting in the groove. One thing I will tell you, I mentioned travel, and what you will find with Mercury retrograde during travel is your luggage could get lost. It could be delayed. You could have problems with your flights, and but it is a wonderful time for people to take off. So you have a problem where everyone says, "Oh, I want to take time off." It means rest. The Mercury retrograde says, "I have to rest my mind, rest my body," and it's a wonderful time. Just be prepared. A little extra time getting to the airport, a little extra tags on your luggage. And always do a carry-on with a day's worth of whatever you might need.
Yes, sure. I learned that lesson the hard way.
Oh, yes.
Didn't have my medication, and they canceled my flight.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and I spent the night in the airport, and my sugar was very high when I got to my sister's house in Cincinnati.
Oh my, yeah,
Yeah.
always your medications, anything you can't live without, in your purse.
Got to
right
bring
on.
at least
Oh
one
my
dose
God.
anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
I found that out.
Oh my. So Mars has been retrograde in 2022 for a couple of months here and still will be until January 12th. You know, Mars is the planet of action. It's your energy level, it's your ability to go forward, it's your get up and go, but it's also the planet of war.
Whoa.
So, yes, Mars is the god of war. So, we can use it in a positive way, like to move forward with something, get a negotiation going, and then we could use it in a negative way. When we get frustrated, Mars backwards is a real pain in the neck. Mars backwards is energy moving back into the body. Now, what that can do is it can create stress related illness. So, for those of you that may have been suffering that over the past couple of months, get through the holidays and in January, do something good for yourself. Now, Mars rules Aries, co-rules Scorpio, but it also right now is in Gemini. So, and that's a Mercury ruled sign. So they can get very rattled, Gemini. It opposes Sagittarius. So Sagittarius could be having problems. And then the two squares are Virgo and Pisces. So everybody take care. Now, you've heard me speak of Venus retrograde. Well, you know it doesn't happen often. And this year, we're going to have it retrograde from July 22nd in Leo, 28 degrees. Through September 3rd, it will go to 12 Leo. Now, Venus, the planet of love,
Yeah, I was going to say, what does that mean to everybody?
art, no plastic surgery is the first thing I say. These days, you don't have to go for a surgery. Anything invasive is considered surgery. So, like the people that get their lips done and the fillers in their face and all of that stuff, be careful because A, you could have a reaction to it.
Vanity, vanity.
Or B, you could wind up looking like some people in Hollywood. Too much of a good thing.
That's true.
Is never.
Look at how some of these people turned out.
Oh my God, I know. I know. Don't ruin your beauty. You can enhance your beauty, but when Venus goes retrograde, don't ruin it. So, Uranus began retrograde in August 24th, 2022 at 18 degrees Taurus. It turns direct on January 22nd, 2023 at 14 degrees Taurus. Now,
Wow.
it's a big, heavy planet.
Long time.
Right. So, but if you look at the degrees, it's only moved 4 degrees. But considering it takes 64 degrees to go around to another sign, 64 years rather, so sorry. The 4 degrees was significant because it's in Taurus. Taurus, Venus ruled, earth sign, peace-loving, comfort-loving, fixed sign, means I don't like change unless I've had time to think about it, go about it my way. And then the great disruptor, the great awakener in your sign, Taurians have been losing their cookies all year.
Really?
Oh, yeah, yeah. It's very uncomfortable for them, but the Great Awakener is doing just that. It's knocking you out of a rut, making you change when it's for your best interest, and getting you out of things that you would just rather not deal with, look at. So Pluto is retrograde. It started May 1st, 2023. It was at 0 degrees Aquarius at that time. And it will go direct October 10th of 2023 at 27 degrees Capricorn. So here's what I will say to Capricorn. Thank goodness this thing is getting out of your sign because Capricorns have just been through the mill. It actually began when we started having the problems with the elections. We had 6 planets in Capricorn, and that's what started to turn the country because, we're Cancer. America's Cancer, July 4th.
That's right, July 4th, yes.
So you had all of these oppositions.
And New York City is Cancer, too.
Yes. You had all of these oppositions, and So it's going to make its last pass on October 10th, 2023. It will be at 27 degrees Capricorn. And then hang on to your seats, Aquarians, because it's coming for you. Pluto. Pluto is what we call volcanic. It goes deep into the soul, deep into the ground, and it just blows everything up, heats it up, blows it up. Things are never the same after Pluto makes a round. Now, for most people, it's good. It will definitely kick up the dead wood. It will force you to change. I know so many Aquarians are telling me, oh, I'm going to lose weight, or I'm going to move, or I'm going to get rid of this husband. Hang on, it's coming.
Is it really?
Yeah, and you know what? Sometimes you feel like you have to move the world. And when Pluto gets in your sign, no worries, you get a little help from God or the universe, whatever you believe in. So Saturn goes retrograde June 17th, 7 degrees Pisces. November 4th, it makes a station at 0 Pisces. Neptune retrograde June 30th, 27 degrees Pisces, goes forward. December 6th at 24 degrees Pisces. This is all for 2023. So those are the main stations. So as we get into January, you're going to finally get some forward motion. The last half of 2022 has been so frustrating for so many signs because we've had the cardinal signs affected, we've had the fixed signs affected, we are having the water signs affected. So a lot of change coming, and you can kind of see that too in the country.
Is it change for the better?
Oh yeah, change is afoot. Astrologically, you would say that the world is going to rebalance, and from the look of the chart, we will balance for the better. In other words, everything that happened, the idea spiritually is to learn from this and make sure that will never happen again. You've got to put laws into place. You've got to enforce these laws. You've got to
there are
tighten
laws
them
in place, like no cheating on the votes. And I'm sure that's a law somewhere.
That is. But they're going to add things that they cannot break the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the way they have.
Oh, from your mouth to God's ears.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think there will be a series of, whether it's laws or a series of checks and balances, I would say. So that if this happens, you can have Congress or the House or somebody, the Senate, intervene, and there's your key. I think that the parties, one will never let the other one, let's say, run away with the horse race.
Okay.
This was the Democratic Party. It was like Secretariat. They just took off.
Yeah.
And one of the things you're going to see, I think, in the future, the first thing I would say to the Republicans now is do not infight. Do not infight.
Oh, no, you can't. You can't.
Right. The other parties, they would say, we need to do this. They would get it done. They would get it done overnight. If you took a look at what Pelosi was doing, she would keep them there and say, no, we're going to do this right now. So with the Republicans, we have to unite, and we have to be a strong forward force for balance. The lessons are balance. You can have your two parties. We can have agreements and disagreements, but we have to remember what America stands for and then work towards the good of America.
And we have to keep the intentions of our forefathers in mind because they set everything up knowing that what's happening now is possible, and they set it up so that it wouldn't happen.
Right. Remember, we had the Dutch settlements, we had the Church of England, we had so many things to fight at the beginning, and that's why those great minds had come together and tried to foresee. But remember, they were also a spiritual unit, which I found fascinating, recognizing that they were all Freemasons. George Washington and Thomas Jefferson, they were all of a higher mind. There are stories about them getting together, meditating together, asking for a higher purpose, asking for wisdom in putting this together. And, it gave us the most amazing country in the world.
That's for sure.
Right. All right. So at some point here, I will start to talk about Aries.
Okay, go
All right.
ahead.
So one of the things that hits me here is that Jupiter is going to be in Aries in the first solar house. Now remember, when I talk about the houses, I don't know your ascendant. I don't know what time all of you were born, but we all have a certain affinity for our solar charts. If you're born in Aries, but you have Libra rising, then your Aries sun is going to be over in the 7th house rather than in the 1st. When you work with a solar house, it means I will read as if Aries sitting on the 1st house. So you make your adjustments. If you know your rising sign, which many of you are doing, you're getting very sophisticated. Read your sun sign and read your rising sign. So here we go. Aries is going to, Jupiter in Aries is going to be in the 1st house. And that has you feeling a little lucky. I like it in some ways because you are pioneers and you're strong and you're forthright, but you're also impetuous and impatient. Please be careful. This Jupiter is going to add a little excess to what's already a little excessive. And remember, Mars, the god of war, energy, forward motion, well, that's what rules your sign. And so what I want you to do, I want you guys to remember you are lucky, but I want you to be able to think things through. Jupiter's in your 1st house. Yes, you will be favored this year. And it's wonderful favor because a lot of you have already you've gotten irons in the fire and you're waiting for good. Many of you are embarking on new businesses, careers, new ventures. Some of you are going for second careers. Many Aries can be entrepreneurial. They don't like to listen to others. They kind of like to do their own thing. They're also very creative because they're a fire sign. So many of you are going to take control of your destiny this year. On April 20th, 2023, we have a solar eclipse. And that's in your sign. This guarantees change for Aries in their most personal life, hopes, wishes, goals, dreams. At the end of 2022, you may have felt a stall in your negotiations, finances, real estate, personal goals. But come mid-January, that Mars is going to let go on the 12th. And you're going to get the engine started again. Now remember, whenever a planet goes retrograde, it takes a station, and the station's on January 12th. And then it's got to trip forward. So it's not like it goes from 0 to 60 like a BMW. You've got to wait a little bit of time. So give it 2-3 weeks, and you're going to start to see some good happen for you. With Jupiter in your 1st house, be careful with your weight due to overindulgence. You know, too much partying, too many good times. You can come out of the holidays. I'm taping now, and it's just about a week before Thanksgiving. So with Thanksgiving, Hanukkah, Christmas, New Year's, and some of the other holidays that are in between that, be careful. Even Valentine's Day, be careful. Overindulgence could be an issue. It's also time to go to the doctor and get your health under control. You have to take responsibility for this, and it will reward you 10 times over. When Jupiter's in your sign, I hear stories all the time. I'll give you an example. A client of mine fell and hit her head. So she was a little bit older, and just for, to be safe, she had a really good doctor. He said, just let me go take a picture of your head. And he found a tumor right behind her ear. Thank God, benign, but it would have eventually harmed her hearing or interfered in something else. But if she had not fallen and hit her head, we never would have known about that. And then it may have been damaging something and too late to fix her, and thank goodness she's fine now. So that is classic as far as Jupiter having domain over the health. Another man I know, another Aries, he got rid of one partner, and not by his own design. He was so upset, lost a partner, and I said, don't worry, somebody new's coming. Somebody new came in, had more capital, had great ideas, and the both of them are flourishing. So you see, one door closes and another one opens. This is Jupiter at work, Aries. So hold your head up. We're going to have some fun. Jupiter loves to have fun, by the way. More entertainment, more socializing, maybe more money, more weight. You know, the good comes with the bad. So you might take on more responsibility this year, too. But it will be hard work, one, and it will be very rewarding. It will bring you something. It's not for naught. So don't be afraid to work hard this year. With Uranus and Taurus in your solar second house, money has been up and down. Also, let me just say this. With Uranus in that second house, sometimes you could get a windfall. Could be a lottery ticket, or it could be a business sold, or an idea that goes well. But it's still a little up and down. And if you have the feeling of a lottery ticket, I would say go on out and get one. And did you see how big lotteries are now? Unbelievable. $1 billion lotteries. When I see them won, I keep saying wherever Jupiter goes, that's where the lottery winners are going to be. The second solar eclipse, falls in your 8th house. This one helps you release old financial habits. It can also bring some surprises. Now, remember, your finances are already under duress. So these changes that are coming at you, I believe, are for the better. And now let me go back to that solar first eclipse. Many Aries may look to do a makeover. Well, steer clear of beauty makeovers, doctor weight loss programs, or whatever you might be doing between July 22nd and September 3rd. And absolutely no surgery. You know Mars rules surgery? So no plastic surgery, nothing to enhance beauty. May not work well. Now, let me go to the 8th house. Well, your second eclipse. That deals with sex, death, taxes, joint funds, investments, wills, and estates, debts too. So you're going to have some sudden changes when that 8th house gets hit with that second eclipse. And again, I gave you when, but I will just go back a moment to help you out here. So the second eclipse is April 21st to May 14th. On October 14th, anything that deals with your partners, marriage, partnerships, enemies, advisors, doctors, lawyers. Why? Because you're in partnership with them. You're in partnership with your doctors, with your lawyers, enemies, advisors of any sort, marriage partners, life partners, whatever you want to call them. We want to try to bring strength to our bonds. We want to smooth over difficulties with our partners. And if we can't, that October 14th eclipse could kind of get them out of your way. The October 28th eclipse in Taurus, watch how you spend, invest, or deal with money. Also, self-esteem has a little bit of an influence and a hold here. So make sure you're keeping your head up and feeling good about yourself. Your home, investment, cars, electronics, they all may need attention this year. Change is a watchword and much needed. Aries, you're going to learn to look before you leap. You're going to learn to slow down and think. That's what the planets are talking to about this year. This year looks good to enjoy and have some fun, especially in love. You might meet partners. Now, are they going to be the forevers? That doesn't matter right now to you. I think change, travel, joy, spontaneity, fun, I think that's what you're looking for. Now, Aries that are a little bit older, some of them may spark looking for that soulmate, life mate, marriage partner. Now, when I say a little bit older, I mean 28 and older. Now, there are going to be some Aries that have 5 planets in Cancer or a Taurus ascendant. Of course, they're always looking to get married, find their life mate. If they come from very, very strong family backgrounds, yeah. But there's a feeling of joy and fun and spontaneity. But when Jupiter rolls in your sign, you could be looking for fun and you might find love. I do like that, Aries. All right, now Taurus. Well, Taurus is a fixed sign, and I brought you guys up before because Uranus has been disrupting your sign for quite a while. It's a fixed sign. They don't like change. They don't like surprises. They don't like things thrust upon them quickly or being pushed without time to think. Taurus is Venus ruled, so many of you guys have called me during this planet with Venetian loss. I just had somebody call me saying someone stole their jewelry. I've had some people in Florida lose their homes due to weather, fire, theft. Uranus is a great disruptor, but it's also a great awakener. So Taurus can be a little bit frazzled right now. Some Taurians have been dealing with death, separation, divorce. It's time to regroup your physical life, but your mind, your body, your spirit all go together. Taurus tends to be very grounded in their thinking, but some of them now are recognizing there's some type of frequency, higher power, whatever you might want to call it, and they are looking to the universe to say, what is this? How do I get a handle on it? And how do I use this to help me move forward after whatever I've been through? Some Taurians have had sudden injuries, health awakenings. One of the ladies that I told you about with a head injury, she's a Taurus. Take action on what is shown. Don't push it aside. Some Taurians have been dealing with financial issues, family issues, health hardships. Don't put it second or don't put it last. Uranus is a great awakener. It's putting it in front of you and it says now. So do that now. This year's eclipse will help you free yourself, help you put yourself first, and help you heal. 2 solars, 2 lunars, they come in pairs. They come about 2 weeks apart. Well, Taurus, you're affected by it this year. And 2023, I'm going to say that this is a year of change. And boy, do you need it, because you don't like to do that alone. Think of it as the universe moving you on. When you don't have the confidence to do it, or the will, or the desire, or the strength to do it, heaven will help you. The first eclipse, April 20th, in Aries, takes place in your solar 12th house. The 12th house rules hospitals, so some of you may have medical issues pop up suddenly. Healing in all forms, mind, body, spirit. It rules the higher form of thought, so I would say anything spiritual. Some of you may get into holistic healing, spiritual healing. Some of you may try it for some of your ailments, whatever ails you, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. Also, some of you may be caring for elderly. And some of you may be caring for the sick. This planet helps you deal with that. You may have spiritual experiences this year, dreams, déjà vu. The 12th house is the house of dreams. Put a pen and paper by your bed. It's amazing what could come to you. And sometimes you don't know what it means right away, but watch. Some of you are going to be looking for a new job or looking to move into a better environment. Now might be the time to look. Remember, don't sign any contracts for anything during those Merc retro periods. I'll go over them at the end of the show, too. On May 5th, we've got a lunar eclipse that affects your 7th house in Scorpio. Again, the 7th house is marriage and all partnerships, legal, medical people, enemies. As I said earlier, some of you are divorcing. Some of you are leaving friends behind, leaving relationships. You don't like your doctor anymore. You're getting a new one. October 14th, the solar eclipse in Libra. That's going to affect your 6th house. That's an interesting one. That's work, like your work environment, diet, health, routines, pets. Some of you may adopt a pet. Some of you may lose a pet. Some of you may change your work environment. It looks like some of you should be changing your diet and dealing with your health. But take a look at the change in pandemic rules. So now some companies want you back at work. Well, that will certainly change your environment. Some full-time, some part-time. there go your routines, right? Some, if you're going on a diet, that's a routine. If you've got health restrictions, to have to take a medication, have to exercise for something or do therapy, that's a routine. So, also, if you get a pet, what does that bring into your life? In order to train the pet, you have to have a routine. So it trains you in order to train the pet. And you know, it's funny, if you work with animals, humans might take 6, 8, 12, 14 weeks to train. Dogs, about a week. So, kind of funny. October 28th, you've got a lunar eclipse in Taurus, and that occurs in your first house. And those born between April 25th through the 27th will feel this very strongly. And I'm going to call it freedom. Taurus, you might call it a pain in the neck, but you will be freed. You will be helped along, moving and grooving forward. Love, well, Taurus is a very romantic sign, but it has its challenges this year. Whether starting over in love or trying to put an old relationship back together, do this. Just go slow. Evaluate what you're involved in. Give it 1 year from the start of whenever the relationship starts, or even if you're trying to put it back together. And be very careful. July 22nd to September 3rd. A lot of this energy about relationships will kind of come forward, and you may say, you know what, I'm trying to put my relationship back with my wife or my husband. That's Venus retro. You might say, you know what, I have to let this go. Or you may have found the love of your life in the spring in Taurus, and all of a sudden you hit Cancer, or you go into Virgo, or you might say, well, maybe I jumped too soon. That Venus retrograde will help you. If during that point you have a breakup or you let go, take it easy. It's not the last time and the only time for love for you guys. It might be the very beginning of healing for you. Gemini. Well, Gemini, what a crazy sign. Crazy, and by meaning that they are mercurial, they are busy, they love to converse, they love to bat ideas around. They will keep you busy. Ruled by the god Mercury, communications. So April, August, and December will be affected by the retrograde. Your ruler is going backwards. So it can get a little disruptive. It can be a little frustrating, but it gives us a chance to rethink, regroup. Take the word retrograde. And, well, like we know with fashion, we call it retro fashion, right? Redo, rewrite, rethink. It means to stop and go over something, back up. Geminis call me all the time and they say, how come it has to be my sign? Because you and Virgo, both Mercury ruled, you guys are the thinkers. And, you know, we call sometimes in Vedic astrology, sometimes they call it the monkey mind in Gemini, because it bounces all over the place. And Virgo can be a little monkeyish, but they're highly critical also. So it says, let your mind bounce around. Take it easy. Rethink. Write things down. Take a moment to think. This actually helps Gemini. I know many Geminis that have been saved from making really silly decisions by a retrograde. So give yourself a chance. The end of 2022 through January 12th will host a retrograde, Mars in Gemini. So you guys have had the planet of war dancing all over your head for a couple of months. Okay, it's frustrating, it's erratic, it's delayed, or maybe it made things fall apart a little bit. After January 12th, give it a couple of weeks, we can start to move forward. This year, Gemini, you've got to take care of your health. Some Geminis are at risk of sudden falls, health due to poor habits, neglect, or wrong ideas. I can't tell you how many Geminis I have will tell me, well, I read my blood work, and I have this, and I'm going to do my own research, and I'm going to fix this. Oh, my God. If you don't have a medical degree, don't try to fix it without help. Yes, you're mercurial. Yes, you read a lot, and many of you might know a lot more than some of your doctors. So, if you're going to a classical medicine physician and you want holistic help or nutritional help or functional medicine help, then find a specialist. Don't do it yourself. There are many people that deal with plants and herbs, and these are powerful medicines. And I find everyone who winds up with a toxic liver, who winds up practically poisoning themselves, they're mercurial. Either my Geminis or my Virgos. Virgos love holistic health. But I'll talk about that when I get to you guys. So ask for help and be advised. Remember, you may as well learn from the best sources rather than from a book, because I could write a book and all you'll have is my opinion. And there could be 50 other astrologers there that might see the same basics I do, but they may put another spin on it, right? All right, so love is changeable this year, with some Geminis facing romantic challenges. We could have some new opportunities in love, but also career, education. That's so good for you. Friendships and groups. Some Geminis are going to be pushed towards changing their work environment. My first thought goes to those who've been returning to the office. Or it could be new bosses, new rules come into play. Look at what's happening with Twitter, right? People can't handle the newness, and some are quitting, and then others are signing up just as quickly to be part of something amazing and brand new. A lot of them are air signs. Some love the idea of something new, and some are saying, well, no, I like working from home. Take time to rest your sensitive nervous system. This year, try to take a vacation. Rest, stay calm. Remember to pull yourself out of the fray. You guys could be still smarting from these few months here with that Mars dancing all over your head. The eclipse, well, all of the eclipses, they're in your solar 11th house, 6th house, 5th house, and 12th house. We're being pushed to grow, move ahead, so expect some surprises. You will experience changes April 20th, your hopes, goals, wishes, friendships, groups. We are being pushed professionally and challenged to look for something new, be vital, go forward, don't stay stuck. It's time to grow. That May 5th lunar in Scorpio, there's your health, your daily routines. Work could become heavy and busy. You might also be learning, training, and educating yourself at this time. When I say medical, too, let me remind you, that's dental health, too. I don't know why some people will see me here and there in town, and they'll say, oh, so when do you go to the dentist? Is that the same as medicine? Mm-hmm, sure is, yep. On October 14th, that solar eclipse in Libra, well, that's going to highlight children. Your children, it's going to highlight pregnancy. It's going to highlight love, romance, entertainment, gambling. Some of you are having babies. Some of you are having grandbabies. Some of you treat your pets like babies. But there's going to be some brand new changes. Children moving in and out of the house, children getting married. There goes your pocketbook. But that's okay. God provides, right? The planets do provide for you. This could also be a time for traveling, recreation, new love, when tested by time, can lead to marriage. Did you hear that? New love, when tested by time. Meaning, if you meet a love in 2023, please don't make a determination on them until 2024, until you're out of these patterns. But it's possible. That eclipse on October 28th in Taurus in your 12th house. Healing, hospitals, secrets, recovery, metaphysics, charities, dreams, all these things are highlighted. New paths, new jobs, new friends, and new loves can emerge from these transits. So hang on, Gemini. All right, Cancer. Cancer for 2023. 2023 is going to give this water sign a feeling of strength and initiative, especially in the 10th and 4th houses. Uranus is still retrograde till January 27th, so it's been a little disruptive here and there. And your 11th house of hopes and wishes and groups will start to lighten up after January 22nd. This is a year of renewed energy, where friends, groups, hopes, wishes, dreams, goals, renewed. Money this year could increase and expand, especially if you've been waiting for settlements to come in. Uranus is going to disrupt a little bit more, but 2023, especially towards the end, can help you settle some of those finances. You know, Cancer, Saturn's been teaching you how to manage finances better for about 2 years, so I know you've been under the gun with that. You're much better now at making decisions and putting yourself on solid ground because, you know, Cancer needs security. I know one Cancer who a major settlement might be coming to her. I think it's over $1 million. Had she gotten it when she wanted it, she would have blown it already. But she started taking courses in financial management, and now when she gets that money, which should be after the 22nd, I think she's going to be a lot smarter with it. So there again, the planets do sort of train you a bit for your higher good. Cancer's born late in the sign, maybe around July 22nd and 23rd, can ease money issues the most this year. They're going to be the luckiest. They're going to be the ones who maybe get their settlements quicker or start their careers or get windfalls or their investments come back around. You know, all of your investments have been restricted because of the inflation. There could be interest in politics, higher education, culture, writing, traveling. A lot of Cancers are waking up to this feeling of humanity. I want to serve humanity. I want to inform humanity, whatever it might be. I have some Cancers that were in corporate world that are now going into medicine and nursing and healing. Interest in rejuvenating your health. New doctors, new routines, things close to the earth. I didn't say just healing. I said rejuvenation, which is wonderful. Communication is highlighted. Many Cancers coming after being born one sign away from Gemini. A lot of Cancers, if the Mercury's ahead of the Sun, they could have their Mercury, their communication skills, in Gemini. So a lot of them are waking up to having their hopes and dreams fulfilled. I see that a lot in America because America is a Cancer planet and their security has been affected, so they're waking up in that way. Now, this is not a political statement. You could be Democratic, you could be Republican. It's more of a feeling of trying to create security for their home, their money, their children, their future. Dreams, hopes, and wishes are strong this year. Jupiter can help you become more visible. It'll help you at work. It will put you out before the public. More people can see you if that's part of who you want to be. Professional connections can increase this year. You might already be feeling that first eclipse that we're going to get hit with in 2023 in your 10th house of career and public standing. And if so, new opportunity could come in. You might have some ideas that you couldn't quite get off the ground or you couldn't quite fortify. 2023 might help you out. The April 20th eclipse, you need to work hard at your past in order to move forward. Keep working at what you want to do now while you're putting together your new ideas and opportunities. In other words, with this eclipse, you can't stop working or stop what you're doing now in order to survive and try to get something new started, because it could take a little while. You would be putting yourself at risk there a little bit. You may deepen relationships with good people, even if they're people in the past. You're going to meet new people, but you will recognize that there are a handful of very good people. And you want to keep them in your life as you go forward. If you need help with new career ideas, reach out. There will be people around you to help you. The May 5th lunar eclipse in Scorpio is in your 5th house. Children love fun, creativity, social, romance, gambling, sports. These areas awaken for you. You can participate in them, or you can meet people from these arenas who will be important to you. The October 14th solar eclipse in Libra, in the fourth house of home, family, foundations. Your home might become a haven of creativity, new beginnings, business, or love. You might put in new computers, new electronic equipment. You might be doing home renovations and repairs. Celebrations and parties can come out of your home. October 28th, lunar eclipse in Taurus in the 11th house. That's friendships, groups, plans, goals, dreams. Uranus in Taurus has been busy sort of disrupting a lot of that. But keep your nose to the grindstone. New beginnings and help are on the way. One of your goals might be to help others or to benefit humanity. Free speech, communication, new people, good, older connections will help you move forward, as well as new friends and associates. Socialize, get out there. Older friends have new ideas for you, as well as new people. All right, Leo. Jupiter in Aries trines your sun sign. A trine just means a good connection, an easy connection. They're both fire signs. And Leo, the ninth house of higher education, long distance travel, increase in cultural contacts, business relationships. You're going to be traveling for fun, and you might also travel for business. Leo can make up for some pandemic restrictions at this time. Is it time to go back to school, learn something new, get a new job, relocate, travel to see friends and family? Leo's probably already on the plane. Good possibility there. Some may travel to expand work connections. Many will become associated with groups for new work or new learning, to become a part of a community or express and learn about a new passion. Work responsibilities will increase after mid-January. It's time to clean up financial entanglements also, resolve disputes. It's also time for a complete health reevaluation and new habits. Leo loves to party, and you might start to get a little restricted there, especially when it comes to food and drink. The pandemic restrictions spill over to workplace, so you may have to go back to the office, find new work, or have to adjust to corporate issues here, meaning hirings, firings, layoff, reconstructions, mergers, acquisitions. Because of the state of the economy, you're going to see a lot of change there. Remember, your ninth house, fourth house, third house, and 10th house, they are affected by eclipses. April 20th, that ninth house solar eclipse, that's where your work relocation could happen. That's where your changes in education might happen. May 5th, that's a lunar eclipse, and that's in Scorpio in your fourth house of home, family, foundations. Are you going to renew your home? Are you going to change your furniture? Are you going to paint? Or are you going to move? Is family moving in and out? Are your children moving in and out? Were you caring for elderly or infirm? All of these things can happen in your home to change your home. Maybe you're putting a pool in, something big like that. But remember, moving. You could be moving from California to New York. You could be moving overseas. Leo, it's going to be exciting. And all of a sudden, the world gets busy. October 14th, that's solar in Libra. That's your third house of communications. I like this one. Communication, education, transformation, transportation, travel. You're going to buy a new car, neighbors. Is there a change in your neighborhood? It could be the people, or it could be you changing neighborhood. Your siblings and aunts and uncles fall under that third house. And electronics. Are you going to smart house your home? That could be another change. New office, new car, move. Watch when Mercury's retrograde, especially for signing a contract, buying a new car, buying electronics. That would not be good. October 28th, that's your lunar eclipse in Taurus in the 10th house of career. reevaluate your career. Are you getting a new job, or are you getting awards, recognition for what you've already done? That could happen to you also, Leo. New goals. Once you've achieved in your life, you might want something new. July 27th birthdays through the 30th. These are the Leos that will be affected. It's time to lead. It's time to create change. It's an exciting time for you. So it's a giddy up and go time. Now, those earlier signs that I've been talking about here, if you see reoccurring patterns, these eclipses have been hitting some of these early signs in the same way. The 10th house of your career, the 11th house of hopes, goals, and wishes. Now, one of the patterns I noticed here in 2022 is there's been a lot of shaking you, inspiring you, and then saying, yeah, you can't have it. So we wake you up, we shake you up, we push you in a direction and go, yeah, no, not yet. That's because, like the horse at the starting gate, it's as if the universe wants to move you forward, inspire you, get you going. So don't take that as a negative. Take it as a positive, that we are going to move you forward, inspire you forward, so that, what's that saying? When,
Got Virgo too.
yeah, I don't think we're going to make Virgo.
No?
No. That when you want to do something and you can't, let's say, you don't take care of your health. I have to switch books, sorry. I wrote in 2 different books. Let's say you want to take care of your health. And I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. And then all of a sudden you get sick and you can't. You can't exercise, you can't do the things that you wanted to do. Well, all of a sudden, you say, oh, wait a minute. I didn't realize how important that was. I didn't realize how much my health meant to me. I didn't realize how much I really did want to be a runner, or I wanted to be whatever I wanted to be. I don't know. Well, that's what this planet is doing to you now. So, heads up, guys, take nothing for granted, okay? Take nothing for granted. I'm going to try the Virgo. I think I have 6 minutes.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, yeah, well,
Yep.
at least 5 anyway. Then we have to do the closing.
Sure. Let's see where we go. Let's see how far we get.
Okay.
So, Virgo, oh boy. So, Jupiter in Aries, I always like to start with the good news. Jupiter in Aries, by the way, that's called a quincux. And it makes you a little bit unsettled. It makes you a little bit fussy. But it's in your 8th house, and it makes a stressful energy, let's say through May 16th, when Jupiter moves into Taurus in your 9th house. And then you get a little bit of a trine. But it challenges your work environment. And you're going to feel challenged until that Aquarius energy changes into Pisces. I'm going to put it out to maybe March 7th or so. So you're going to be a little bit challenged, you're going to be a little bit uncomfortable, but again, we're moving you where you don't think you can go. The universe and the planets are giving you power where you don't think you have it. So at the start of 2023, the Saturn, which you've been dealing with a lot, the planet of restriction, is going to continue this challenging journey through Aquarius. That's going to be in your 6th house. Daily routines, work, co-workers, fitness, health, nutrition, animal companion. Some of you, Saturn is responsibility. Some of you are going to take on the responsibility of a pet. Others, Virgo tends to be very fussy with what they eat. They also, this is the other sign that I was talking about, where you like to take health matters into your own hands. I see some Virgos so extreme with probiotics and prebiotics and food and chemicals, and we want you to be healthy. But don't be extreme in health, and please get somebody else there to help you. Saturn's going to move into Pisces in the 7th house. So we're going to go from the 6th house of work environments, diet, health habits, routines. What does that mean? We're trying to strengthen you. And then we move into the 7th house of partnerships. Then we take a look at your marriage partner, your collaborators, your business people, your advisors, your doctors, lawyers, and Indian chief. Well, a lot of whether they stay or go is going to be in your hands. Saturn says to you, you make the final decision. Are you comfortable or not? That first eclipse is going to hit your solar 8th house. the second, your third house, and then the second house, and then the solar ninth house. So we've got an interesting set of happenings here, Virgo. You don't like to leave any open ends. You like to be very specific, very detailed, that you are the best investigators, you are the best accountants, forensic scientists, but here you've always got to leave a little bit of an opening for you to be able to move forward. So many brilliant minds hold themselves back, and that's what Virgo does. So this year, in spite of yourself, you're not going to be able to hold yourself back with these planets. So the first solar eclipse of 2023, all right, 8th house, joint debt, funds, taxes, sex, death, investments, mortgages, even birth. Some of you guys, maybe you announce a pregnancy. Maybe somebody else, family member, has a baby. Maybe you're resetting your retirement plans because your 401k went down $1 million or so. All of these areas are important. You're very good at looking at numbers, so do what you have to do and then have somebody else look over it. 2 weeks after that, on May 5th, we have the lunar pair. So that's in Scorpio. That's your third house of communication, education, travel, neighbors, siblings, transportation. The intensity of this eclipse is tremendous here. So you might make decisions to break contracts. You might put in a security system because safety is big here. You might be worried about the welfare of your family. October 14th, that eclipse takes place in your solar second house. Assets, money, personal income, self-development. What do you value? You know, the second house is what you value, including your self-esteem. It's time to sort of get rid of conflicts and tensions and reset yourself there. The year's final eclipse, that's going to be on October 28th in Taurus. Education, foreign countries, in-laws, outlaws, publishing, travel, expect the unexpected, and possibly brand new directions, Virgo. It's all about setting the table as far as your finances clear and setting yourself up for some new and some good.
Okay.
All right.
Very
Diet, health,
good.
habits, and routine. Remember that, too.
Well, thank you very much. And this was part 1, and we'll be going into part 2 for next month. You'll see part 2. Keep an eye out for it. In the meantime, everybody have a good year.